There is no correct answer to a rough statistics question, but it's not going to be 0% or 100% in almost every case. Rough statistics recovery is designed to help you see this situation more objectively. When you see a situation more objectively, generally your emotions calm down a little bit. So how would someone potentially answer those rough statistics questions? Let's consider that first question. What is the probability that you would make that presenter very uncomfortable? Passive people assume that everyone will be incredibly uncomfortable if someone raised their hand and asked, what's the purpose of this presentation? In reality, it's never going to be 0 or 100%. Sure, some presenters would be very uncomfortable by this interruption in their presentation. But in reality, there are many presenters who wouldn't mind being interrupted by this kind of question. For that kind of presenter, in that moment, they would realize, oh, I didn't make the goal clear enough. So I'm glad this question came. There's no correct answer to this question, but based on my own experience, I think that roughly 60% of people would feel uncomfortable, and I think the other 40% would either not feel uncomfortable or they would actually be glad that the question came up early in the presentation instead of coming up at the end or after the presentation. Next, let's look at question number 2. What is the probability that the presenter would not be able to recover after they got this kind of question about the purpose of the presentation? The majority of professionals would be able to recover quickly if they were asked a question that surprised them during a presentation. Some would not, but most would. But I think we can all agree that a true professional's aim is to recover no matter what happens during a presentation. So it's safe to assume that the majority of professionals are going to be able to recover quickly, even if briefly they felt uncomfortable. Excessive fear about making other people feel uncomfortable is one of the common causes of people becoming passive. The assumption is that other people cannot handle feeling uncomfortable even a little bit, so it's better to never make them feel uncomfortable at all. But if your goal is to never make people feel uncomfortable, your only choice is to not speak and not ask any questions. But that's not a very realistic perspective on humans. People in general are not like fragile glass that breaks at the slightest touch. In general, people are quite resilient, and even if they're made to feel very uncomfortable, they can still recover relatively quickly. It's important to treat adults like adults. Most presenters would prefer that if you or many members of the audience are confused, that someone ask. Otherwise, the presenter worries that they may have just wasted everyone's time.